Okay guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be discussing a few things that has gone on this past weekend, and Friday. For those of you that don't know, me and my husband, we do play online games, usually World of Warcraft. Right now we're sort of taking a break with that one and playing Final Fantasy 14. Um, but in the gaming community, we did get some bad news. So if that's something you want to talk about, then hang on. If not, thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Alright, so this past week we had a streamer commit suicide. And this is something that is very near to my heart and dear to me because I myself have tried it. And luckily, in my case, it was unsuccessful. So, first of all, before we get started, I do want to take a moment for Reckful. It's never a good thing to kill yourself, to feel that you have no other recourse than that. So we're going to take just a moment and give him a moment of silence. Now, when it comes to suicide, I don't think that you guys understand that, there's nothing that can be done. After that is done, that's just so final. Because one of the things that we talk about, me as a gay guy, when I was in high school, it was horrible. As far as like being bullied, beaten up, and picked on. And when it comes to like abusive relationships and you feel that you have no other way out, there is other ways. And, basically look for those that will help you. In my case, I was in an abusive relationship. There are a couple ways that you can be abused in a relationship. There's the actual physical abuse that people will see signs of. Then there is the verbal abuse that no one will see signs and no one can tell unless you tell someone. Now, I was in a relationship where he was highly verbally abusive and eventually had eroded my self-esteem to the point that I didn't have any self-esteem at all. And so I did what I thought was the right thing. Now, luckily, my friends lived a block away, and they were able to get me to the hospital and save me in time. However, the doctor did say that, this was the time where your boyfriend and your friends weren't allowed into the room when you're in the ICU. So the only people allowed in there was my parents. And the doctor told my parents that if they had anything to say to me, they needed to say it then and there, because I was going to succeed in what I had started, because my liver was only at 5% functionality. Now, watching that wash over my mother was something that I would not wish on anyone else. Um, to see the look on my parents' face when they were told that I was not going to make it, um, it touched me to my core, and I tell you that even though that my parents have gone on and passed away um, of semi-natural causes, it was cancer. But since they have gone on and passed away, I will still never do that again. That is something that, you may be in pain, you may be hurting. I know all too well about, depression, anxiety, and stress, and the only thing that does is it takes all of your pain and sorrow and it ends it. It's gone. You're gone. The end. No more. That's not that's not right. The people that you leave behind have to deal with all that. And it is not something that they should ever have to deal with. I want you to think before you do anything stupid. And I say stupid because it was very stupid. I could have reached out to several other people. I could have left. But instead, I stayed there and continued to deal with it. Never, ever, ever feel that is the only way out. That is never an option. Take it from someone who has been there. That is not the way that you should do it. If you're with someone that's abusive, leave. There are like battered women's shelters. I'm not sure if they take men. I do know that had my parents known what was going on, they would have. Well, my dad would have beat his ass. My mom would have given him a dirty look. More than likely, she would have beat his ass too, knowing my mom. Yeah, she'd have beat his ass. She'd have been the first to beat his ass, then my dad. But tell someone. Reach out to someone. We've all got that one friend who's on our side, and reach out to them and let them know. Because that should never be an option. I reached that point. I did it. I nearly succeeded, very nearly succeeded, and I can tell you that my life has only gotten better since then. Since then, I have found a relationship. We've been together 13 years. Only married for 6 because that's how long it's been legal. And, it's not, you should never do that. Reach out to someone. In some cases, you can, if I'm up and on social media, you can reach out to me and I can talk to you. Call the Trevor Project if you're gay. Call the National Suicide Hotline, which I'll look all those up and I'll post those down below. Because it's, don't shift your pain and suffering to someone else. We go through our pain and suffering so that, it makes us a stronger and better person. You need to go through these things so that you know and you can help someone that you love go through something similar. So instead of letting your depression, anxiety, and stress win, I want you to use that, turn it to, turn it so that it's not something that has hindered you. Make it something that has helped you. I will tell you that since that day, I have never thought about doing it again. I will never do that again. Because I saw what it did to my mother, and even though my mother is gone, I have a husband and a mother-in-law and nibblings, nieces and nephews from his side. And, hearing that for those people, it would just be devastating. And, that's not something I'm willing to do to my loved ones. Not again. So, if you are thinking about suicide, I want you to call the National Suicide Hotline. If you are young and gay and don't want to come out and suicidal, I want you to call the Trevor Project. All those I will link down below. There's always another way. Think like Dory and Finding Dory. There's always another way. There's something else that we can do. Because I would rather listen to you complain and be sad and depressed than have to go to your funeral. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Leave this video a like if this content is something that you enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in some cases you get way more knowledge of my life than you probably should. So I want to thank you for watching this video. And again, reach out. There's someone there. Someone will listen.